Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. Today is time-lapse number 2 for Can We Survive Mars and completely building out the barn. So of course there's a few things we still gotta finish up before we can announce the series and play the series, and some of you may already suspect what I might be doing based on the build itself, but I just want to talk a little bit about what I've done so far. And all this is done in creative mode, and the point of that is just to create this specific base for the series, and then we can play the survival piece for it. So initially we built out the barn as you've seen here before, with the bed, bathrooms, medical bay, refineries, assemblers. We have 2 batteries, some small cargo containers, our programming blocks. We made them in a small grid for now, and we made some new additions. So let's go outside to see what we did as additions, and that is going to be this tower here. But before that, we had made our turbine tower here with the solar panel system back here. I feel like I should change this up a little bit because it's a little too wide and it's going to collide into this thing here, which I'll explain what that is later. But yeah, in addition to the barn itself, the power systems, turbines, and solar panels, I created this observer tower or observation tower. I forget what's it called, but yeah, mainly it is to have a tower so we can sit inside and control stuff with it, maybe drones, ships, whatever the case may be. And this antenna was just for design purposes, where it's supposed to follow the character ships or whatever the case is. Not sure what it's pointing at now. Oh, it might actually be my small ship right there, the respawn pod that's pointing at right now. And in order to do that, I used the new custom turret controller. And what I did is actually put a camera right inside here. So you can't really see it from here, but let me see if I can get to the spectator mode to show you that. Alright, so right in here, if you can see it right there, is the camera. So that is what I'm using to track the players, small ships, and whatever the case may be. I think I made it a little bit too long down on the bottom, but it works fine. It is tracking. It's tracking the respawn pod right there, as you can see. So then that definitely does seem to be working fine. But yeah. So other than that, I added some weapons. So kind of similar to the weapons I built previously that caused a lot of OCD issues because I didn't link up the I think either the autocannon or the assault cannon incorrectly, but I fixed all that. And this one I did off of a very small hinge part. So if you see in the time lapse, you might be able to see it where I attached the smallest hinge part ever into the large grid hinge, basically. So I attached this little thing here. So if you didn't know how to do it, what you have to do is add another hinge next to it. So I just put a rotor right next to this rotor, put a hinge right next on top of it, put a couple of small, and then change the head into a small head, and then put some small blocks and put it kind of right towards the middle. Put one block down and added the small hinge part. So you can see this one right there. So that's the part that I added, and you can attach it. Surprisingly, it works pretty well. It's floating, and it collects the parts from inside, so we can transfer the weapons in that case, or ammo in this case. So I put it on this end here, and I put another piece here, just so we have the minor turrets for now for defenses. So it does have 3 Gatlins, 4 autocannons, and 2 assault cannons. And hopefully that's more than enough for the time being. We're gonna have to make more defenses sooner or later. And of course, I added some decoys back here, just for the fun of it for now. Not the best placement of them, but it's far enough from the base, so I just want to add it there for now. It's hard to work with the kind of landscape we have now, but it's not too bad. Another thing that might be a little cheesy is that I did go in spectator mode to build a few things. So within a few things, I mean on the ground. So I basically piped everything on the ground underneath the voxel for the most part, just to hide it, to make it look a little bit better. So that was a little bit cheesy, but it's going to be extremely hard to repair if it does break too. But it makes it look a little bit more cleaner for the most part. I know this part's sticking out a bit, but there was no choice. I didn't want to build everything underground, but decent amount of them there in that case. And after that, we added this big old block here, which is actually going to be kind of like the garage area or whatever we can do with it. I gotta figure out a door system. Maybe we use the hanger doors, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is pretty much the garage system that I'm gonna have here. And gonna design a little bit. Right now it just looks like a big old table for the most part. And then of course we have more room to build stuff, but we're gonna leave it as that for now. I think this is gonna be a good start for a decent base, and then we can start our series from there. I just need to finish off this garage, and I might think of other things to build. Not sure just yet, but hopefully everything goes well with the build and there's not much addition to it, so we can start the series. But so far so good. And one last thing, sorry about the time lapse. There was a bit of a lag issue with the recording, so you might see towards the end it was a little bit skippy. Hopefully in the next few time lapses that doesn't happen again. I'm not sure why I did that. Maybe the PC was overheating potentially. So definitely maybe have to get a new one if anything. And of course, before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.